What is going on, guys? I hope you're well wherever you are, whatever the time, and welcome back to another video. I was gonna say another episode of Why Not Me, but that season's done and I need to think of a new name. So at the start of the off season, we're 4 days post-show, 5 days post-show now, and I'm going to take you through a full day of eating, and also as well along the way give you some tips when it comes to managing the post-show period, because as you know, if you're a bodybuilder, this period of time is a bastard. It's very difficult. It's harder than the damn prep. It's harder than the actual diet. First, I'm going to go do my cardio, which is going to be on the cross trainer. I'm still doing cardio on my rest days, 25 minutes now instead of 35 because health and that. And then when I get back, I'm going to go into meal number 1. Enjoy the video, buckle up, and I'll see you in a bit. I am still not doing a get ready with me because you lot are weirdos. Speaking of weirdos, my God, you guys in the YouTube Shorts comments, the mumsy's not liking the comments that I'm getting on the YouTube Shorts. It bothers her more than it bothers me. I think obviously as well because my mum isn't from this social media age, and she doesn't probably realize that when you like put yourself out there, and obviously look, we're going to be real here, I'm doing bodybuilding, it's pretty obscure. When you put that out there, people are gonna hate. And look, people are seriously unhappy with their lives, genuinely, and a lot of people hide that, and then it kind of comes out in the way they express themselves online. Also as well, online there's no consequences for what you say. It's so funny as well because I've never had a negative interaction about bodybuilding in person with somebody. Nobody's ever come up to me and said anything negative about me filming, me doing bodybuilding, wearing posing trunks, whatever it is, it's always online. Usually my response to those comments is, I appreciate the engagement. I really hope what's bothering you overcome. Imagine leaving comments like that on someone's page you don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get into meal number 1. Oh yeah, behind me here as well, we got our salt for the day, be about 1 gram on each meal, not including seasonings that I put, and water. I'm gonna get 2 liters down. I've already had about 600 ml, 2 liters down before we get to about 9:30. I have 7 liters of water a day, and that's consistent now, and I just feel a lot better. Performance is good. Coming out of a contest prep, it helps massively in terms of appetite regulation. Meal number 1 is going to be 100 grams of oats. We're also going to be having 20 grams of almond butter. We're going to be having 60 grams of whey, and we're also going to be having 200 grams of berries. I'm having this meal first. I typically have this meal last on my training days, but because today's a rest day, I'm not too concerned about the order in which I have my food. The order that I have my food on rest days is heavily dictated by my appetite. This morning I'm pretty hungry, so I want my oats first, so that it'll satiate me for a while. I can get on with some work and get these tasks done that I need to get done. That order might change depending on how my appetite is for the day, but today your boy is hungry. On training days, I tailor my food where most of my carbs are around the training window, because that's obviously going to help you with performance. Once I've had this first meal, I'm then going to get on with some work. It's a busy day today, and then enjoy the weekend where I'm actually going out for a meal with Bryony. And I also have my client Michael. It's the PCA finals on Sunday, so I need to get some stuff ready for that as well. Anyway, I'm hungry, let's eat. So when it comes to post-show, one of the most, or I would say the most important thing, is to have a plan coming out of your show. And for some people that might mean making a plan before you even get to the end of your shows. So you might need to have a plan in place maybe 3 weeks prior to the end of your prep, so that you know exactly what's going to happen and what the exit strategy is. One of the worst things you can do is finish your prep and then just have no plan, have no idea what you're doing. And even if that plan involves you having loads of cheats or slowly reverse dieting, I'm not a proponent of that, but having a day where you just eat whatever the hell you want, whatever it is, make sure there's a plan. If it's just macros, make sure there's a plan. If there's a meal plan in place, make sure there's just something there. You don't want to finish your show and then just mindlessly eat. Mindless eating is a recipe for disaster, and it's a recipe for binging. You won't just eat mindlessly and at the same time eat sensibly when you're in a state of depletion, when you're in a state of you've restricted yourself for essentially 6 months of certain foods. Like, do you really think you're going to just have like half a donut? I don't think so. It's going to be hard, but stick to the plan. That's the first little tip I'm going to give you. Now I'm going to eat these oats, and I'm going to watch the Great British Bake Off. So I've just had to record this again, or I'm going to be recording this again because the first time the audio messed up a little bit. But check-ins are done. I'm going to get on to meal number 2, which is, or was supposed to be, 400 grams of cooked weight potato, 150 grams of raw weight chicken, and then we've got some vegetables, salad. I've got 50 grams of beetroot, 20 grams of lettuce, and 30 grams of broccoli. But because I didn't have 400 grams of potato, I've got a half of a bagel thin with 15 grams of jam, because I've only got around 280 grams of potato, so that's why I've got that. And that's pretty much it. So like the main work with clients is done for the day. I've got a few other things to do, so I'm going to go for a walk and get a few more errands done after I've eaten this, and it's just important really just to stay really busy post-show. I think because food focus is so high, it's very easy for you to just sit there and just dream about like junk food and just rubbish. Just keep busy and time just passes by. I think just give yourself tasks to do, and it just helps massively. You don't want to just lie around thinking about food, trust me, and get back to doing those hobbies that you probably neglected towards the tail end of prep. I know that my mind and brain was so fogged. The only objective was just to get done what I needed to get done that contributed towards like work and prep. That was it. Everything else kind of just got put on a back burner, like playing my bass guitar and reading and that kind of thing. Like it just took too much brain power, do you know what I mean? So like get back to doing those things because it will keep your mind occupied when food focus is high. Anyway, this is now super cold, so I'm gonna eat and then I'll join you for meal number 3. All right, so we are back with meal number 3. I'm feeling hungry. I just got back from a walk as well, and luckily just in time because it's pouring outside. Got around 10,000 steps in today already, so I'm pretty much just going to be able to now chill here and just get on with my work. For meal 3, we have 100 grams of cream of rice, and I'm ashamed of myself because I don't know if you remember, if you watched the 1800 calorie full day of eating, I complained about how people spend 20 pounds on cream of rice. I had to buy cream of rice that cost 20 pounds because I can't find ground rice anywhere. Can't find it. So I had to buy some Trained by JP cream of rice. To be fair, it's all right. It tastes okay, but it's just so much money. Like that's 7 bags of ground rice. Yeah, no. Triple chocolate flavor. We have 50 grams of whey protein, and then we have 20 grams of dark chocolate, and we have 140 grams of cherries. This was supposed to be 100 grams of blueberries. I just swapped the blueberries out for a different type of fruit, so I went with cherries. Gives me a little bit more volume and it's something different. I think this is a good opportunity for me to try some foods that I didn't have in prep. I am definitely hungry. I'm feeling it today. But as I said at the start of the video, I've got a meal out with Bryony planned. So that's in the plan. I'm going to stick to that plan. I'm not going to gorge on food today or do anything silly today because I'm going out for a nice meal on the weekend. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to enjoy this and then I'll see you for meal number 4. I'm just about to start cooking meal number 4, but I want you to have a look at this real quick. Let me show you what I've got off from post show. Look at these cookies. Leave these cookies alone, Elliot, from the cookie mill. Got them, but interestingly they're both planned in. Those cookies are both planned in. I'm gonna have one tomorrow probably for dessert, and then I'll probably have one at some point later next week. I think there's an important message here. In fact, I've also got more stuff. Hold on. These bags of sweets here as well. Again, like I've had about 30 grams of carbs worth of sweets on the Monday and Thursday. So 15 grams on the Monday and 15 grams of carbs from sweets on the Thursday, but it still fit into my macros. But what I was gonna say is if you're somebody who just doesn't have that restraint where you can plan things in, or you just can't have one of something, get rid of that stuff. Like, don't have it in your house. If food is proximal to you, if you've got this stuff around you, you're likely going to eat it. Don't even bring it in. So if you're really struggling, if you've like binged after your show or whatever, anything that you have left over, get rid of it or give it away to people. Give it away to friends, family, whatever, because it's only going to trigger you even more. So if you're somebody who hasn't got that restraint, get rid of that food immediately. Okay, so we are on to the final meal. We have 100... Final meal? It's not the final meal. It's not the final meal. This is meal number 4. Here we have 100 grams of pasta, dry weight. We have 200 grams raw weight mince, 5% obviously. And then we have 100 grams of green beans. Also with the mince as well, I've got about 50 grams of passata, which is honestly not a lot of calories. I think it gives you about 15-20 calories. And then we have cashews. I've got 15 grams of cashews. For this meal, AJ's got down to use oil as my source of fat. I'm using cashews just because it's a little bit more volume. They taste good as well and add a nice texture to the dish. So for my last meal, I have 150 grams of Greek yogurt. I have 150 grams of blueberries, 20 grams of dark chocolate, and 30 grams of whey. This was supposed to be meal number 1 for today, but I was ravenous in the morning, and I can just have this meal, almost it's like a little snack. Have this meal and literally just go to bed because my stomach's gonna be pretty empty, and then wake up tomorrow because it's a training day. I've got carbs in the morning. That is pretty much it. That's the full day of eating. So I'm gonna put the macros on the screen. You would have obviously seen the macros as well for each meal throughout the day. I'm still doing this work. I'm almost done. I'm getting pretty decent at editing. You're not gonna be able to see the skill level increase on this video, but the previous video, you should have seen that my editing's got a lot better. And I'm investing a lot more into YouTube and just becoming a better content creator. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video today. Make sure you subscribe as always, like the video, share it, and I'll see you next week.